Before we begin this video, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up that the phone that I'm using to demonstrate everything I'm talking about is the Oppo Reno 10 with the MediaTek Dimensity 7050 chip. The reason this is important is because the chip in your phone does so much for your camera, and as this particular video is going to be all about the smartphone camera, I thought it was important for you to understand how important the chipset really is. It works as kind of like the manager, if you like, making sure the different functions of the camera work together, process the data, and produce the best possible image. The chip also allows your camera to capture images, record video, and then process all this data very quickly, while also ensuring a bunch of necessary features are performed like autofocus, image stabilization, and facial recognition. That's all controlled by your chip. The MediaTek Dimensity 7050 does all of this, and it also has AI camera integration, which allows for noise reduction in low light and 4K HDR video, improves motion blur, and enhances your HDR capture in post-processing optimizations. So I'm going to explain all of this later in the video, and I'm going to give you a bit more help in ensuring you utilize your camera on your smartphone to level up your gaming content creation, and it's all coming up. So keep watching. There are a bunch of really rad free apps if you have an Android smartphone that will allow you to edit and create content on the go, and all you actually need is your smartphone and the camera on it. Woohoo! My name is Sam. I am a full-time esports broadcaster, but sometimes I like to make videos like this about esports broadcasting, gaming, and content creation. Especially if you're starting out in the space, I know you probably have a lot of questions, so I've partnered up with my friends over at MediaTek to do a series of videos about the gear you need to kickstart your gaming content creation career. And in this particular video, I'm going to talk a lot about the camera on your smartphone, as well as share those apps that I found that are going to help you just level up ever so slightly. Definitely not me trying to take a selfie, so I have content to edit and show you on the phone. If you've just started out in gaming content creation, all you actually need is a smartphone and you can get going straight away. If you've got a good camera on that smartphone, you're A for away, you can start recording your content, taking photos, but maybe you need a little bit of help. You don't need to learn to edit. You don't need to spend a small fortune on fancy software to edit your photos and things like that. There are a bunch of free apps on your phone that you can use that are gonna make your life so much easier, and I'm gonna share my favorites with you right now. My first favorite is, without a doubt, Canva. Every graphic designer's worst nightmare, because it's just like the most easiest app to use. There is a free version. You can download it on your Android phone, and you'll see there's a bunch of different templates that you can use. You can see some of mine there where I've made YouTube thumbnails. You can do Instagram posts, Instagram stories, posters, logos. I've just opened one of the logos. There's a bunch of things that you can do here, and all sorts of different ways to help elevate your content. You can do some basic photo editing as well. Say, for example, you've taken a photo and you want it to fit the sizes for Instagram stories. You can resize on Canva, add colors, change things up. It's so simple to use. There are some premium features that you would have to pay for. I have never paid for any premium features on Canva. It is such an easy app to use, specifically for photos, changing it up, thumbnails for YouTube. If you want to use cover photos for Instagram Reels, all of that, you can get it all done right here on Canva, and it's on your phone, which is great. Without a doubt, even now, I have the gaming PC, I have the cameras, I have an editor who's going to edit this YouTube video, but on the fly, my go-to is CapCut. This is a free video editing tool, and you're probably really familiar with it if you are a TikTok fan, because you can constantly just click CapCut templates on TikTok and it will take you there, and then you just throw your videos in and CapCut will immediately cut them together, add the music, do all the effects, and you look like you're a genius when you've just pressed one button. But CapCut for me, even when I'm not using TikTok templates, I use this for everything. It is so easy to use. It is free. You can put it on your Android phone. And the thing is, it has such an easy design. You can cut what you want. You can extract audio. You can do voiceovers in it. You can even add auto. It will do captions for you, auto captions. The AI is so smart. Different transitions, effects, everything you need to edit a video, whether it be for TikTok, for Instagram, for YouTube. If the footage is on your phone, you just start a new project on CapCut and you're A for away. Best part, it's free. The final app that I wanted to share with you is actually not an app, it's a website, and I am actually a really big fan of it. And I'll explain to you why, because a lot of the time when we are live streaming, all of our content goes out in landscape mode, i.e. this way. But then when we want to put it on TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, it needs to go this way. Now, there are ways to edit on your phone itself. You can do that in CapCut, you can do that. But sometimes I feel like the gaming footage looks not so great when you try and make a portrait. And what I loved was I always used to see people online, they would have their gaming footage with the blurred background. You know what I'm talking about, on TikTok or YouTube, and I found the way to do it. It's called Clipsy. It's a website, clipsy.com. You simply put in a Twitch clip URL, which you can then download. That means that you have the actual file on your phone, winning already. But there's also a way to convert it to TikTok. Clipsy is free. There are some paid versions, but the very simple one where you just want the actual gameplay with the blurred background, Clipsy will do that for free. Convert it to TikTok, it'll give you the file and you can download it directly to your phone. It takes all of 5-10 minutes and I love it. And it's one of the tools I use lots of. So next time you see one of my YouTube shorts and you see that blurred background with the landscape video, you know which one I was using. The apps are great, but the most important thing that you need is the actual content that you're gonna film on your camera or take photos of. Of course, that camera is built into your smartphone, so it's really important to have a good smartphone that can handle the load you tend to throw at it. That's why I've been using the Oppo Reno 10 to showcase a lot of what I'm talking about in these videos. Right now, I'm speaking directly to that phone. The sound you're hearing is the sound that it's recording. Please keep in mind, the likelihood is when you use your phone, you're not going to be balancing it on your very powerful big gaming rig, which may be the slight buzz that you hear. I apologize. But I kind of wanted to give you an idea of the quality of what you're going to get from this particular phone and the camera on the phone. What's great about the Oppo Reno 10 is that the camera is really great. It's actually got 3 cameras on the front of the phone. They say rear of the phone, but to me, this is the front of the phone. You understand what I'm saying. It's super confusing. You got the selfie cam, you got the other cams, you know what I mean. The 3 cameras here, you have a 64 megapixel main camera, then you have another lens, which is the 32 megapixel telephoto portrait camera, and then you have a third, which is a 112-degree ultra wide angle lens, which is great if you want to get a really big view. Of course, you also have a 32 megapixel selfie cam, which is on the screen of the phone. This is really important because a lot of the time, if you're at LAN events or if you're at a convention, you're going to be filming, doing that selfie thing, taking photos with your friends. So really pay attention to the selfie cam when you're purchasing your phone, because that's going to be a big game changer for you. This phone is great because all of those different cameras that I told you about, all the different lenses, work together to give you so many options for creating content, so many different ways to film or photograph. But none of this matters if the chip in your phone is not decent. So thank goodness Oppo Reno 10 runs on the MediaTek Dimensity 7050 chip. Now, why this is important is because ultimately the chip ensures that all the camera engines work to the best of their ability. When I say camera engines, I'm talking about all the different features that ensure you get a really good video or photo. In this case, you're watching this in 4K HDR. Probably not. I'm not exactly sure how all the editing is going to work, but you can film with that on your phone. It allows you to do that. And also, there's really important features that you need to consider when you're buying a smartphone for gaming content creation and specifically looking at the camera. You want things like noise reduction in your images. Image stabilization is really important because we shake a lot. You know how that goes. Low light functionality is a big one for me because no one has fancy lights. Lighting is a nightmare if you're not careful. So low light optimization is a really good thing. All of this is on the Oppo Reno 10. There's also a bunch of different features. There's some basic editing and tweaking you can do in the actual camera app of your phone. That's all really important. And it all comes down, like I mentioned, not only to the cool features of the phone, but that chipset, making sure that those camera engines can run. And most importantly, if you're videoing on the go all the time and you're taking photos and then you're moving into these apps to edit, you want to make sure that your phone is power enough to handle all of that and to keep the battery optimized, because you don't want to lose battery because you're busy doing all of those things, which is why the MediaTek Dimensity 7050 is perfect for you, because it's going to do all of that. And it has a lot of AI features itself, the chip, to ensure that a lot of those camera qualities I was mentioning, those different features, also work really well. And again, that's all the things you need to consider when you're getting a smartphone and you specifically want a good camera because you want to get into gaming content creation. If you want to find out a little bit more about optimizing battery and also how the chip will help with your phone, then head on over to one of the other videos I've done with MediaTek. I'll put a link in the description and there should be a link somewhere here, which will kind of break it all down for you. The final little tidbit that I can definitely give you when you're looking for a smartphone, I know that this video was originally about the apps, but it is something that I really want to bring to your attention, is a lot of the time when you go into the store to buy a smartphone, they let you test the camera out. They normally have a dummy model there and you can take the camera, you can see what it looks like. Please remember that the lighting in those stores is so bright and so good. They normally have big fluorescent bulbs above you, all of that. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at that demo. I would suggest going on the internet. There's stacks of reviews available, especially if you're looking at the Oppo Reno 10. There's lots of YouTube videos. See what the quality of those images are in low light, because you may be a little bit misled in a very well lit store. I got you, fam. I hope that you found this video useful. I hope if you're creating content, you got some tips and tricks that'll make it a little bit easier for you to enter the gaming content creation space. And of course, a big shout out to MediaTek, who's making all of these videos possible. Don't forget to hit subscribe, the notification bell. I hate doing this. It sounds so silly.